I think I'm live. Otherwise, I'm just staring at the screen. Today officially is 10 days to the anniversary of my 1 year living in Monte, Ecuador. And I think 10 days before my move, I did a countdown to leaving Dallas and moving to Ecuador. And I arrived in Ecuador on January 11th. So since today is January 2nd, I'm 10 days away from the anniversary. And it's nighttime now, and I realized that there's so much that I want to cover. And all day I've been thinking about how I wanted to do this countdown to my anniversary. And so I decided just to start from the beginning and reflect on what all it took for me to get to Manta, to stay in Manta. And actually, at on the 11th, on the anniversary of me arriving here in Manta, I have a ticket to fly home to Dallas. The first time I've been home in a year. I did leave Ecuador once to do a meetup for the 60 plus Black Women Expats group in Panama, and it was 19 of us, and we had a blast. And so, in the 10 days covering up to the 11th, covering how I spent my first year abroad, I'll include a video from that meetup. And I see there are 5 people watching, and I don't know if I can see comment. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. Okay, so maybe you guys can see the chat. But so I decided to do the 10-day anniversary to my being here, 10 days to the anniversary of my being here by reflecting on how it all started, how it came about 10 days before, not 10 days before I left, but actually the day I left Dallas. It was total chaos. And even though I had planned it and had been selling off stuff, I left and there were still things in my apartment. So I came this close to actually canceling and delaying moving for a month. But thanks to some absolutely wonderful sisters that I call my posse, shout out to Sherry, shout out to Ursula, to Yvette, Tangela. These people, these girlfriends surrounded me, and my oldest daughter and my oldest grandson, and really all my children. Uh, Janelle, Jasmine, Jordan. Um, they were like, "No, Mom, you're getting on that plane. You're getting on that plane. You've planned for so long. You've done the homework. You've checked off the boxes, and this is just stuff. It's just stuff that hadn't been picked up, half had been picked up, whatever. But they would not let me not get on that plane, and I'm so thankful um, because I was worn out and just ready for it to happen. And the videos that will follow this, because the way I've decided to do this reflection on the 1 year is to come on and do a live for a few minutes and then post another video which will be clips of that day, the day that I left. Tyson and I getting on the flight, getting halfway. We went through Miami. Really, the trip from Dallas to Ecuador was once I finally was in the car and on my way to the airport. Um, the plane trip was fairly easy because it's approximately a 4 hour flight from Dallas to Miami, and then another approximate 4 hour flight from Dallas to from Miami to Guayaquil. And after landing in Guayaquil, a 3.5 hour flight into Manta. Manta does have an airport, but at the time, last January, it was not an international airport. We have a brand new airport that is still growing. And this year, I suspect that that airport in 2024, which is now this year, will start to get larger airlines coming to it. Right now, we're international because we fly out of Manta into Panama, but not large airlines like Delta, American, or United yet fly directly. But as we grow, I anticipate that happening. I see some people are on, and I'm glad you're joining me. It's 10 o'clock here, 10:15 here, and in any case, so one of my bags was too full, and so in Miami, what you'll see, I'll give you a overview of what's going to be in the clips, because what I've done is take photographs and little movie clips and put them together. And so the one after this won't be live, but I'm explaining sort of what's going on. So you'll see where I'm in the hotel halfway there and attempting to redistribute the weight in the bags, because I think it was a hundred or $125 charge for the overweight bag, and they had said that that would be from Dallas to Miami, and then I would pay again from Miami into Ecuador if I didn't redistribute the weight. Well, I end up not having to pay. So the second leg of the trip, but we did have to pay 125 for the overweight bag. In Ecuador, there's some debate that Ecuador has an embargo where you can't take but two bags in, but some of the people who are here have argued that no, if you take another airline, you can actually take more than one bag. I'm not going to debate that. Americans said two bags, and everything I pulled up online said two bags. And it wasn't seasonal, it was year round. So my experience was two bags. And so I had two very large bags and a carry on, and of course, my dog, my service dog, Tyson, who was absolutely wonderful during the whole trip. Congrats on the first year anniversary. Thank you. It doesn't seem like a year. It really doesn't. The experiences have just made it fly by. What is surprising and I'm so grateful for is the number of people that have visited me while I was here. I have had a friend, Candace, shout out to Candace, from the Dallas area, who was actually a business accountability partner like 2 years prior in a project when I was, before I even started this, well, I guess just at the beginning of me starting the YouTube channel, and toying with going abroad, living abroad, who actually came and visited me, and we had a wonderful time. And then my girlfriend, one of my girlfriends, Ursula, came up and spent like almost 2 months, and actually was part of the meet and greet that we had, the meetup that we had in Panama, that I did as a collaboration with Charlotte Van Home, who is my shero and heads is the admin for uh, Black Expats in Panama and Worldwide Expats Tours, and she did all the logistics, and she did this as I was in the process of moving, so she really did the heavy lifting. But in April 15th and 19th, and there will be footage of that uh, in the reflection of the 1 year here. So stay posted, stay tuned, and watch for the lives, because a lot, I have so many short videos that I've made throughout the year and didn't get a chance to post. So in the next 10 days, I'll be posting those, and you'll actually see firsthand uh, what developed through the year. And I am in my second accommodation. When I first arrived here, I had ocean view, and I've always wanted ocean front. Uh, I could see the ocean, but I had to go. I could see the ocean, but my balcony was actually to the side, so I could see it through a glass wall. but my balcony was on the side, so I had to go on the side and actually look. But I wanted ocean front where I could walk out my door and walk into the ocean. So I only took a 6 month lease, because I came at high season, which is January. All the snowbirds are back, and so because some people only come to Manta or to Ecuador, well, I'll say Manta because Manta is on the coast and we're right on the equator, and it's 70 to 80 degrees year round. Year round. It's now January 2nd, and today it was 81 degrees. And there was a beautiful breeze off the ocean, and so that's why people come during the winter, because they don't want to spend, uh, if they're in a country or city where it's really cold. So it's starting to see a lot of the people I met last year coming back, and then there's some that stay here year round. So, in any case, today was a wonderful day. I got a lot done. My kids, I was reflecting on what made this year so great was the number of visitors that, first of all, the community that is here was wonderful. Uh, there was so much going on in terms of being landing and being introduced to the community, and of black expats, mostly retirees. There are some families. There's some starting to be younger families that are moving. But since this YouTube channel and the Facebook group 60 plus Black Women Expats is dedicated to retirement life abroad, which is one of the reasons why I picked Manta, because it had a sizable black retirement community. People I could hang out with because they weren't working all day. And when I arrived, the activity was water aerobics 3 times a week, and yoga twice a week, and game night, and then of course the meetups that welcomed the newcomers. It was such a soft landing. I landed knowing exactly what my apartment was going to look like, because the woman that handled everything had done show me everything from the property to inside the drawers and the cabinets, and I just know exactly what I was walking into. There were no surprises, and that's very comforting when you're coming, when you've sold everything and coming with two suitcases, to know there were actually towels, there was flatware, there was everything that you needed. Everything. There was even the toiletries. There were toilet paper and paper towels, and it was like walking into a resort almost. And so that made for a very soft landing. And Tyson and I just came in and started living life. And so I 13 minutes live here, and I wanted to just kind of tell you what the next video, like I said, I'm repeating myself, but the next video is going to be short clips of the first few days. So you'll see where I was in Miami, and then you'll see my first apartment. There'll be a picture of me at the meet and greet. Uh, and there'll be a few short video clips, like the first time I actually walked into the ocean. I did a house sit. I was a house sitter when I arrived, and one Diamond, who I will see shortly. She'll be back in Manta in February, her and Wendy. And looking forward to seeing those. Those are friends that I've met. Diamond, I connected with through my group, who is a house sitter, like Stephanie Perry, who is my idol and my, uh, gosh, such a source of support. I enrolled in Stephanie's YouTube development class. I follow Stephanie Perry, and she was instrumental in me even starting the Facebook group and starting the YouTube channel, because she got tired of me trolling her her lives and asking questions about seniors. Till she finally said, "Deborah, why don't you just start your own group about senior living?" Because I was asking questions about Social Security and healthcare and community and the quality of healthcare and the ease of the delivery of it, and just everything that would only be specific to our age group. And because she's not a retiree, she's more of a house sitter and digital nomad or whatever and category. And so she was like, you know what, you need to start your own. And I did. And I don't regret it because I think it filled a void. And the Facebook group now has almost 3,500 black women who live all over the world and communicate and support each other. And that's how I came to find out about Manta. One of the women in the group lived in Manta and was posting these absolutely gorgeous pictures and talking about her life here and her lifestyle here. And I interviewed her, and then I interviewed the local admin of the group, and it moved right up the list because, of course, I was looking at Portugal, I was looking at Panama because there are a lot of Dallas, a lot of Texans in Panama, and Cheryl, who lives in Panama, had just moved there from Dallas, from the Dallas area. So I knew people in Panama. But Manta had so many benefits, especially regarding the retirement visa, that was comparable to all the benefits you get in Panama. I mean, we get discounts um, on hotels, we get discounts on flights. Um, I don't know if it's the case in Panama, but I found out in Manta they actually give, there's a 12% sales tax that is actually given back to seniors in the form of a savings account. You open a savings account, and the 12% sales tax that you pay on goods and services, that's only once you become a resident. And I am a resident. I have my 2-year resident visa, pension resident visa. And once I got that, I have an ID card called a cedula. And when I show that, they know to record that 12%, and then I can pull it up on my computer, and I'll see the receipts that are posted there, and I go in and validate them, and they're deposited in a savings account. And I thought that was such a wonderful thing for a country to do for its seniors, to actually give back the sales tax. And they will give back up to $107 per month. So that's not bad, because that actually would cover the equivalent of Social Security here, the government insurance. For me, is $71. So the sales tax makes that a wash. And of course, I did keep my Medicare and my Social Security A and B at home. Never ever going to stop that, because, and don't recommend anybody ever stopping that, because if you do, and you ever go back home for whatever reason, and get back into that system, that penalty is permanent. Permanent for every month that you were not paying into the system. It's just not worth it. So, I've been on here almost 20 minutes. uh, let's see what else I want to tell you. Like I said, I want to start from the beginning. So I landed here, was introduced to the people. It is a Spanish-speaking country. My Spanish is still horrible, and even though at my new location, and I've been here since June at my second condo, which I absolutely loved. I liked the first one, but the first one I called paradise. This one I call heaven. And when my children came for Christmas, they could see why I called it heaven. It's just so peaceful, and it's right on the ocean. I literally go downstairs, past my pool, and walk into the ocean if I so desire. In fact, you can probably hear the ocean waves in the background. And not everybody is a water baby, but I'm a water baby. So part of becoming an expat is knowing what's important to you, and knowing yourself well enough to know your must-haves. And one of my must-haves to start out was to live by the water, because it's very calming, and it's what I wanted. Let's see. What else is covered in that video? I show myself and Tyson on the plane. I show our first apartment. I show where we were greeted. And then tomorrow I'll probably cover like what my first week was here, our first couple of months was like here. But I did want to stay true to my word because I did promise that I would do a 10-day to the anniversary live. And so tomorrow, I don't know if it'll be this late. Uh, It'll probably be in the afternoon, though I know I have a dental appointment at 5 o'clock. So it'll either be before, well, either before or after 5 o'clock. Oh, that gives, but you have to like and subscribe, and then you'll get a notification when I am on. Still in States, congrats on your first year. Thank you so much. I'll be Panama bound this spring. Good for you. Do it. Do it. I mean, there were surprises here, but none that I did not do a boots on the ground. I always recommend a boots on the ground. I did a boots on the ground in Mexico the year before I moved here to see if Puerto Vallarta was going to be my first place, and I ruled it out. And I didn't do a boots on the ground with Manta because I had done a year's research and I had got answers to all the major questions. So I knew even if I came here and things were not as I had hoped for, that I would still stay for a year. That everything, there was enough to keep me here and satisfied and relatively happy for a year, and then I could move on if this was not a good fit, because I never came with the intention that Ecuador would be my final destination. Uh, I was looking for a base outside of the U.S. so that I could save and travel and see other countries. And so in 2024, that's what I plan to do. Uh, there are a number, because the group is so large now, I can kind of put it out there. And because we had such a wonderful time in Panama, uh, the ladies were like, where are we going to meet next? And there were some that didn't make it to Panama, and the group's a lot larger now. And it was like, we're going to pick a place and as a group go there. And the difference, what made the tour really successful in Panama was that it was a cultural relocation tour. So we didn't just meet up and have a good time, but several of the women were actually checking it out as a possible place to live. And because it was a large number of us, 19 of us, um, it was they had already planned for us to see different real estate properties in different price range and different locations, some that were in the city, some that were on outskirts, some that were in the highlands, some that were closer to the ocean. So the women that were actually scouting out Panama were able to do it as a group. And to that very first night, they met the real estate people, they met the medical profession, they met immigration attorneys. It was all just so well laid out. And that's what a cultural relocation, how a cultural relocation tour is different, because you don't come just to have fun, but you come to scout it out to see if this is a place that you feel like you could move to and be happy, that it fits the bill in terms of the kind of care, uh, the, the community, the benefits, the culture, everything it would take for you to be happy. And that's something you want as many check marks in the book as possible. You don't want a lot of guesswork. And so this year, uh, we're looking at Durban, South Africa, which is a huge leap because South Africa is not as easy to get to as Ecuador was. You know, Ecuador was 2 4-hour flights, and boom, I was here from Dallas, Texas. South Africa is going to be a little bit further, but I serve a big God. I serve a big God, and there's no place I can go that He isn't. And so we're going to manifest that as well. And there's about 8 to 10 women that are already interested in it. And there are 2 people within the community, the 60 plus black women expats, that know of tour groups in Durban. And so we're going to develop that as soon as I come back from visiting in Dallas. I'll be in Dallas. So for those who are in Dallas in the group, uh, can't wait to have a meetup with the Dallas people that are still planning to move abroad regardless of where you're going. And so I'll be connecting with the Dallas future expats. And but once I get back in February, we're really going to start focusing on what it takes to bring a group of us to Durban, South Africa, and to have not just a meetup, but to be there for, oh, I'll say at least a week or 2 weeks to really see, to scout out Durban, to see if that's a place where a number of us would like to live. And because if we go in numbers, we should be able to have our demands met in terms of being able to meet the people who can give us information, the information we need. And that's a good thing about going in mass rather than going as one individual. So I've been on here almost 30 minutes. Let's see. Great video. Oh, thank you. uh, I laugh because when I started this YouTube channel, making the videos is fun. Not the lives. The lives kind of get me nervous sometimes. But I so want to get the information out because I so want to be an encouragement to those who are thinking about it, not to give up. Yes, it's hard or I want, it may be hard, but anything worth having is worth the work. Um, I can live with mistakes, but I cannot live with regret. I cannot live with regret. If I make a mistake, I can overcome it. But I could not live with, I wish I had, I wish I had done this or whatever. No, no. And so even if this didn't work out, I would have learned from it and I would just go to the next place. And that's how I've always looked at it. So I think when you have a lot of expectations, you set yourself up for resentment if the littlest thing doesn't go your way. And I was mature enough and traveled enough to know that when I got here, there would be things that were different because it's not America. Thank God. It's not America. And I love my country. This is not bashing it, but I wanted what I wanted. And so there were things, and I'll cover those, the little things that I went, I didn't expect that. Most of them were amusing differences but some of them not so, and some of them not all pleasant, but none worth regretting that I came. None. And so, and I think that's because I did do my homework. We're seeing life to the fullest. Yeah, you have to embrace life to the fullest because you don't know how much life you got left. In Dallas now, passing through, returning to Guadalajara Friday. Okay, great. Yeah, yeah. So 2024, because I have my 2-year visa now, I can be out of the country for 90 days a year. So, and I'll be back and forth. And I don't know if that's 90 days consecutively or if I get a reset, but I'll check into that. But so we'll be doing some traveling out of the country. Like I said, we are brainstorming around a meetup in Durban, South Africa. So if you are a black female, you don't have to be over 60, even though the group is called 60 plus. The 60 plus is just because our focus is on um, living abroad in our retirement years. So you won't find information there on how to earn money while you're abroad, because there's so many channels that talk about being a digital nomad or by having employment while you're abroad. We're mainly on meeting the needs of answering questions regarding what it takes for a senior to live abroad. Yes, you can keep your social security benefits in a U.S. bank, and there are ATMs all over the world, so you have access to your money. And some of your medications can be shipped if they can't be purchased in foreign countries. Just all the things that seniors would be interested in. That's what 60 plus black women expats is all about. And the women in there, I call them the VIPs because they are worldwide. They live. You can't think of a place and say, does anybody live there, or does anybody know anybody that lives there, and not get a response from somebody who says, yeah, I live there, I've been here 10 years, or I know somebody who has lived there. And that's the beauty of having so many women in the group and support one another. Not everybody of the 3,500 women in there are living abroad yet. Some are still in the planning stages, and that's where they are for support and encouragement from those of us who have made the leap. And so now I can say, yes, I made the leap. I'm a year into it, still learning and growing. And that's what I'll be doing the rest of my life, is learning and growing and sharing the information with you. So I am going to sign off now as live, and then I'm going to post the video of my first few days and the transition here. And it's only a 4-minute video, but you kind of have to watch the recording of the live for you to make sense of that. So anybody that clicks that on is going to be like, why did you post that? But you guys will know. So until tomorrow, be safe, keep your dreams alive, stay connected to people who will encourage you, and any setback is just a setup for a new launch. That's all, for a comeback. Be blessed. This is Deborah signing off, getting ready for bed in Ecuador, Monte, Ecuador. And this is 60 Plus Black Women Expats YouTube channel. And there's also a Facebook group. Please subscribe if you haven't. And please like and comment and share it. I'm right close to 2,000 subscribers. And this year, I really want to grow the numbers because there is a need for us to share the information. And I have the content. I just need to get it out there. I need to do the editing and whatever it takes to get it out there, because I want to know that I'm giving value to the ones who do listen. So the only way I know that is if you subscribe and if you comment and like, and then you share it with on your personal Facebook pages. You can share the link to this YouTube channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. Until next time, until tomorrow, good night and be blessed. Bye bye.